Hello YouTube, this is SKillous. Today I have something very special for you, because this is a game from recent World Team League match, and this is probably one of the biggest upsets, because our today's guest is probably unknown for most of you guys, because unless you follow ESL Pro Tour Asia very closely, or you may be a very big Fruit fan, then you haven't heard the name of Lemon before. But this player is actually very strong and very promising. And there's another very fun fact about him, is that he actually managed to play all the races on a competitive level. He started as a Zerg player, he managed to qualify for WCS in Kiev in 2019. I'm not sure if he managed to get to the offline event, but he managed to qualify, which is already a good achievement. After that, he was competing with Stern for quite a while, and maybe about like 1 year ago or 2 years ago, he switched to Protoss, and now he is a very promising macro Protoss player, which is also quite special for this region, because if you think about Protosses from this region, usually you think of maybe Haas or Nice, and these players are usually on a cheesy side, right? Maybe Nice not so much, but Haas is a very cheesy player. I'm pretty sure you all know him and saw his matches, so it's very exciting to have this this kind of player in this region. And he's playing against MARU, which makes it what makes it a very big upset. So the game started quite calmly. Our guest scouted a full wall on his opponent part of the map. He went for a battery, but other than that, it's a very standard 3-gate blink opening. We already saw a bunch of those on this channel. The only difference is this quick battery, because if there is a full wall, you never know what's cooking, right, from the Terran side. So it could be like a Proxy Marauder build, or maybe even like a Fire Axe Marine build, right, like a cheese on one base, which can be also very powerful if you don't scout for that. That's why he got such a quick battery. But other than that, pretty much everything is very standard. We go for a pylon to block the Reaper jump above the natural. And after this pylon, we go for a third gate, so it will be just in time when we need it. There is a small dance between these Reapers and Hellions, but of course they can't really deal too much damage, because Protoss units are simply bigger, right? We have 6 supply of units against 4 supply of units, so 6 supply is obviously stronger. MARU can't really scout, but if you play against any opponent, it's very nice to try to get some of their attention, right, somewhere on the map. That's exactly why MARU was doing that. Widow Mine drop comes, probably expected from a Protoss side, because if you play against double gas, which is apparent for any professional Protoss player, would be apparent for any Protoss player in this position, because, well, yeah, not any other build order would be able to give you such combination of units. You can also expect a drop. 2 Stalkers dead, 2 Mines dead. I would say it's probably alright for TOS. Not ideal, because usually don't want to lose Stalkers, but Blink wasn't ready yet, so he didn't blink them away. The third base is a bit late, because in the heat of the battle, I guess Lemon didn't manage to get his Nexus in time. And the first observer is going across the map. As you can see, it's in the middle of the map if you look at the minimap. Oh, and we see that there is a bunch of Marines and a couple of Reapers, so a battery goes here. A second observer was rallied on the main base in order to provide detection for any kind of Banshee follow-up after the medevac. And these Stalkers are trying to meet this Terran's push, and Banshee comes to Protoss main at the same time, kills 3 probes, but is dead, which is actually a very big deal, because now these 3 Stalkers can connect to all the other Stalkers and help dealing with this tank Marine push that is happening right now. Not that many Marines, so there is not so many support for this tank. Tank goes down, some Marines go down. Yes, some Stalkers died as well, but okay, another tank comes and Stalker managed to kill it without any losses, and you can with confidence say that this push is deflected, so Lemon decides to go for a Robobay. Jumps in. I'm not actually. He got a Banshee, he got a Medevac. Interesting. I probably wouldn't do that. This is a little bit of a crazy move that I wouldn't personally do, but to be honest, I don't hate it, because now there is no threat of Medevac, there is no threat of Banshee, so we can focus all of our attention in one spot, on our third base. Still, another battery goes down. There is a battery from the early game on the nut. There are obviously a lot of units on the third base, so this is the only unprotected base against any kind of... I guess you can only expect Banshee, right, at this point, from the Terran side. I really like that that Lemon is careful about that, and he's actually not being greedy for 100 minerals, because usually if you kill 2 Banshees, you say, okay, probably there's not many more Banshees on the way, but sometimes they are coming and they can kill 10 workers and just finish the game, right, for you, or like put you very far behind. So Lemon is not falling for this, which is a very good call by him. Another observer before Colossus is also ready. We go for 5 gates. Forge. Maybe, I'm not sure if Lemon is aware of his situation right now. I would probably say it's good, because after this initial pressure, we only lost 3 probes, and 5 probes, and Terran also lost 3 ACVs, because I believe he was taking them with this initial tank pressure. Observer actually goes on a little bit of a different road, so in order to get some extra scouting, because Lemon didn't really know if Terran is if Terran gonna continue to push him, or he will try to expand on a third base quicker and maybe macro up a little bit more. So now we saw that there are some units in the middle of the map. There is a Raven, there are some Marines and Marauders in the middle of the map, but and of course because of that we should definitely try to spend all of our money and invest them into units to defend our very quick fourth base, which is a very good decision in my opinion for Lemon, because he realized, okay, my early game went very well for me. I got Tech, I got Colossus, my second Colossus is almost his second Colossus is almost out, so he was like, okay, then I can probably get away with this quick over fourth base. Now he sees that Terran is already sieged, so he's not really trying to pounce, he's waiting for his battery to finish up. Another mine, but bam, he saw a blink of a siege tank changing his position. He blinks in, kills this tank, so they're not too close to his position. Marauders and Marines jump on top of this Colossus. It barely dies, but was a very good timing for Lemon, because he had a battery just finished when Terran started attacking him. Some more trades with this Marauder. There is not enough Marauders for MARU to tank for this Colossus, so it deals a lot of damage to these Marines, and at this point I would say any kind of trade that makes both armies disappear is good for Protoss, because Protoss economy is obviously way more superior at this point. Some more Marines and Marauders go down. It's very nice when you fight with such a small army of Terran with Stalkers, because you can always blink them back. Trades are not very good for TOS, but economy is very good for TOS. Actually not almost, 25 probe advantage. I also want to point out how good of a job Lemon did with positioning of his units. I want to stop the replay for a little bit and just look at how good he controls the map here. There are 2 pylons, there was a unit here, so it's spotted for this push, and he was just positioning his army in between, right? So this is a definitely very good play by our Taiwanese Protoss player. And at this point we just try to get as many units as possible. We try to secure our 5th base so it doesn't die to any kind of split push. Now Lemon sees that, okay, there is some Terran forces on the left that are killing my spotting pylons, which is a very good move by Terran. Also, look at the observer that Lemon just built. I really like how he in general works with the map control. Look at in the middle. There is some stream of units coming, and it was scouted by this observer in the middle. Lemon wasn't actually controlling the map with a zealot, right? But there was an observer, so MARU didn't spot that he was spotted by observer, and it made this defense very easy. Here we also have enough Stalkers and Colossus to deal with this secondary army. And we keep getting upgrades, we get a second robo. At this point, economy is just brilliant. 79 probes, this is usually more than I would personally get. I like to stay on like 76 probes. But we will see why Lemon does exactly this. And now we go for more of a, like, he connects his army, I guess, because he saw a lot of forces in the middle of the map. So he doesn't fall for a... Because when you split your army, this is the hardest part, right? You have to split your army when your opponent is split, and when your opponent connects his two armies in one, you should connect as well, so you can give a good fight. So this is the hardest part. And that's why you want to have as much control as possible. Here, Lemon realized, okay, I don't have enough gas, because he invested a lot of money into this Colossus, into these Stalkers, because he was constantly trading the Stalkers out. So because of that, he goes for a slightly higher pop count than usual. I would say usual PvT pop count is like around 76, but in this case he went for more probes, but he got more gases, so he will be able to afford more units, more gas heavy units like Stalkers, Disruptors, and his army will be more... it will trade a little bit less, but it will try to drain as much resources as possible from his opponent's army, right? And with resources, I mean hit points on Marines and Marauders, because when you do this dance with Disruptor, Stalker against Medevac, Marine, Marauder, Terran's main resource is Stimpaks, right? And if you do this dance for long enough, TRL will run out of hit points, and you will be able to take a very good fight. So this is usually a win condition for Protoss when we play this kind of style against Bio. So at this point, when we see, okay, this is a full army, personally I would probably try to send a run biker zoom up, because, or like have a prism. But we should understand that Lemon is not like the best Protoss in the world, right? Maybe if it would be fair to judge Max Pax if he's not doing this, right? Because he's probably the best Protoss in the world, but Lemon is a little bit lower. So when you play against such a strong opponent like MARU, you can do everything correctly. But what he was already doing correctly is definitely at a very solid level. After he got maxed and he started getting some extra bank, as you can see, we have 15 gateways already, and we add some extra. This is pretty much what I was talking about in the latest stats video that I released. Some gateways on the map, very nice. Some points of reinforcement. I also, personally, I will stop for a little bit. I really like this setup. I think it's so good. Like, we have a battery in front to help us fight in this area, which is usually quite a hard area. And we also have a quick warping pylon in front, so we can easily reinforce our units. Now Terran army is yellow, but I don't think we are quite ready to fight. Also, disruptor count is not that high, only 3. But we continuously build upgrades. Our economy is better, so if we get at least some kind of trades, it's already fine for Protoss, because on a long run we will just outmine our opponent, and our opponent will run out of steam. Another very close proxy gateway, which I also really like, because at this point Terran is so focused in this one position that he has to pay such a close look at, because otherwise he will just get blown up by these disruptors and the game gonna be over. So he doesn't really have time to, you know, like send the Marine across the map or something to find this gateway. Terran dives on top of the Protoss force, but he had to steampack 2 times in a row. This battery comes very handy, the one that I was talking about before. Terran steams once again, and look at his army. His army is just orange, so pretty much every single Stalker hit is so painful. We also have some Vikings left that are not doing anything because all the Colossus are dead, and now Lemons realizes, wait, maybe I actually have a decent chance of beating MARU now, because it looks like everything is going alright, very good for me. I gonna get a gold base on my opponent's gold on my opponent's location, I guess. Tries to still is a little bit afraid of a big liberator switch, so jumps on top of the sleeps, kills them. Also very nice, I don't know if you saw that, but he transferred the probes to the new fresh base, so he doesn't forget about his macro, which is very good. And now we keep pushing, keep going forward. A DT Shrine, a very nice addition as well, because at this point, when you already made all of your crucial upgrades, all the production, you have a good stalker count, you start to bank a lot of gas, so at this point it's a very smart call to actually find another gas dump. Sometimes you can go for Archons, right, but I don't really like Archons, and in this case it's probably a little bit too late, so we decided to just go for a DT Shrine, which I really like, because once again, when the game is so close and you have to micro in one direction, 10 DTs can just kill EPF and finish the game, because there won't be any economy left after the EPF dies. And once this base is up and running, it actually becomes very hard for Terran to do anything about it, because disruptors are in such a nice position they zone out Terran's army constantly. We also have stalkers, we poke Terran back, and also we have a very quick reinforcement point, right? So Terran can't really dive too deep. Disruptors are keep shooting, so Terran has to constantly kite back with his bio. Some more stalkers on the way. Let's look at the trades. As you can see, trades are much better for Terran, but just because of this better economy that our Protoss player managed to secure, he's doing just all right. This Colossus dies, but I think it's nice to add some extra Colossus, because especially if Terran loses his Vikings, because yeah, like if there is no Vikings, Colossus are also adding a lot of complexity to this army, and Terran, it makes it so much harder for Terran to kite back and forth, right? Because Colossus are just shooting all the time from a very far edge. Another nice forward battery. I believe the gases on the main are depleted, so we got some more gases on the base on the bottom right. The Disruptors are shooting, and I think at this point MARU was like, okay, so he probably saw this base in the of the gold, and he was like, okay, I have to do something right now, otherwise my opponent is mining from 2 gold bases. One of them is mine, and I have to secure this base for myself. But Lemon is not going back. He is like, I mean, there is no reason to go back. He just keeps pushing forward with his disruptors, keep getting value, sees a leap, blinks in on top of it, so it's not getting any value at this point. When Protoss is in between the production of Terran, in between third base and the main base, it's so hard for Terran, because they can't really connect their forces together, right? So they have to keep fighting with their small army and wait until they have a big blob of units coming from the main base. MARU tried to jump a little bit forward, but it doesn't seem to quite work, especially with this battery overcharge that was so close to Terran's base. Disruptors are coming forward. I don't really like that they're dying, but maybe we have just enough zealots to fight with the rest of Terran forces. There are a lot of medivacs, so the actual bio force is very small, although supplies are so even. A nice zealot drag from the Widow mine shots. And at this point, this is exactly what happens when this kind of engagement go for too long. Terran just runs out of the medevac energy, and he can't sustain hit points on his Marine Marauder force. A new base is ready. I really liked how Lemon worked with macro in this game. The pylon goes down, but there is another pylon, so MARU is not ready to break this position, and he just taps out, and Lemon wins this game. A very strong performance by him. I really like how he kept expanding all over the map over and over again. His macro was very good. His micro was maybe lacking at some points, but in general it was also very solid game plan, solid execution. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time. Bye bye.